These three types of communication have to be um, some of the most popular. Even though they're still frowned upon. It says that 92% of people still use email. Even though it may not be the most efficient or effective way anymore. Someone needs to do a survey on this. Let's be honest. Text messaging often involves a very short replies and is sometimes hard for people to keep the conversation going. Some people aren't good at texting, and it's primarily impromptu or informal. Without much thought. You just kind of text back. And this brings us to social media, which is really likely the most controversial of all three, because it's one of the newest forms of communication. Conveying thoughts. And advertisements. Some workplaces actually do ban their employees from ever being on social media. Like my department, we're not allowed to get on social media at all. But then some also do have advertising departments and blogs that communicate with customers exactly what the business is doing, what they have to offer, and so on. In my present position with AT&T, I'm a premise technician, and I do installs, repairs, and other various activities in customers' houses. So understanding the informal and formal structure of writing, and when using each of those above mentioned are appropriate, will really help me to excel at my position, especially because of surveying and customer service. A survey by Bloomberg actually reported that over 80% of customers' first impression of a person is created by the tone, and that tone can be through anything. All appropriate forms of communication, in fact, that are in this chapter, I believe. It's almost remarkable to think that the vast majority of customers really don't care about a person's skill set at all, which is really weird to me, but it's very true on I guess. But it does make sense because if a person was in my house, I'd want them to be, nice, intellectual as well. Um, I'm not. I won't be too involved so much with writing letters and emails. Besides, reading them from time to time when they send them out. But text messaging and instant messaging will play a really major role in my specific work. I mostly text customers by sending them appointment reminders, and it's in this area that the planning and revising will be, really come in handy for me, so I can clearly state to customers what the purpose of the message is intended to be. Instant messaging will play a role in more of a support setting. In speaking and communicating with other techs. We're often in a shortage of supplies and necessary tools, and maybe this is what happens when multi-billion-dollar companies merge. But this will be an informal style and fairly impromptu communication, which will be nice and quick at my disposal to locate the necessary things, or if anybody else needs my assistance. And now a specific instance that's really just arose for me specifically that I hope will potentially involve my future career is an email that I received last week from the director of our company giving me the contact information for the lead financial analyst at AT&T, whom now I'm also in communication with as well. It's really exciting for me. This was not conducting business type of email, but it was an opportunity style of email. So I don't have to worry about the face-to-face loss necessarily of the interaction coming into play. But the formality was definitely still needed. I was on the job last week, and my manager and the director of AT&T operations came out, and they were, interested in what I was doing. So I took, the opportune questions to tell them about where I wanted to be in my future with AT&T. After he left, he went back to Dallas, where we're headquartered, and sent back the information of the lead financial analyst of AT&T, which I already said. I don't know. I typed that twice, it looks like. And told me to get in touch with her. as she does all of the financial hiring. And this is where emailing really came into play. And I've never been, more nervous ever. So I thought about what I was going to say and how I was going to initiate the email for at least an hour. And then I probably revised it about 5 times before finally asking another professional individual, if it was appropriate what I had put. Her and I have now exchanged many emails, and we actually have a date set to meet for the 11th of this month, which I'm just ecstatic about, because it's an opportunity to gain knowledge and potentially gain a contact for moving up, with my future. This goes to show that emailing, is in fact an effective tool, and the steps about analyzing, planning, drafting, and then revising what you're going to say are absolutely crucial. And that's why this class has been so important for me. I want to say that I've really enjoyed this class, and continuing to be here with all of you and getting to know you has been a blessing, and I hope everybody has a really safe 4th. Thanks.